Up everyone? Stephen Hurd with Hurd Homes Real Estate here in Orange County, California. In today's episode of the podcast, I'm diving into 10 leadership habits that will completely change your life and your business. When I first started in real estate, I thought that the key to building a great business was going to be learning how to sell more and learning more about the product. While that is good, that's actually the foundational things that I need to learn in order to build a real estate business. What I needed to learn to build an effective business was leadership tools. Now, I didn't have a lot of leadership roles growing up. I didn't have any examples for really good business leadership. I had great leadership with my father, my mother. I had really good, family leadership, but I didn't have any good business leadership skills. And so I put together these 10 things that I've learned from my business mentors, my personal mentors that have really helped me scale my life and my business. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Number one, great leaders are really clear on their life's goals and purpose. You don't want to follow someone who doesn't even know where they're going, right? You don't want to get behind someone who has no clue where they're going because they can't show you where to go if they don't even know where they're going. So great leaders have clear vision and purpose. One of the great books you can read on this is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It outlines exactly how to set goals and a step-by-step process for achieving them. Great leadership habit number 2, reading. There's a quote from Brian Tracy. It says, all leaders are readers, but not all readers are leaders. What does he mean by that? Well, if you're just reading fiction and books that really aren't helpful for you, you're not going to grow as a leader. But if you're reading self-development books, How to Communicate Better, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Think and Grow Rich, The Compound Effect, if you're reading some of these books, you're going to be constantly growing. And when you're growing, you're learning new information that you can then share and help others with. So the leader always has to be a step ahead with knowledge and with wisdom. Great leadership habit number 3, empathy. There's a quote that says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Good leaders are great listeners, okay? They listen well, and they listen not just for words, they listen for emotion and what's behind the words. If I just wanted somebody to listen to my words, I could just record myself on my iPhone. That's not what makes people feel like you care about them. I want to feel like somebody understands me. They get what I'm going through. They acknowledge me. So good leaders are great with emotional listening. For a good book on that, read Communicate for Change by John Maxwell. Great leadership habit number 4, relationship building. Leaders really value relationships. They really appreciate the people that they work with, that they help. They appreciate the people who have helped them, and they're really interested in building long-term relationships. So I highly recommend a book, and this might be more so of a religious book, so if you're not into that, that's totally okay. But this is the book that really taught me some powerful relationship building habits, and that was Relationship Principles from Jesus by Tom Holliday. Okay, so I learned some really good habits in that, just how to make people feel cared for, how to let them know bring security to the relationship, how to add value to them, and how to be there when they really need someone. So relationship building is a great leadership habit. Great leadership habit number 5, take ownership. Okay, what do I mean by that? Extreme ownership. People are attracted to someone that takes responsibility for everything. Okay, I'm not talking about being a silent sufferer. I'm talking about taking ownership. If my weight's not where my weight wants to be, it's because I didn't go to the gym enough. I didn't eat healthy enough. If my business isn't where I want it to be, it's because I haven't prospected enough. I haven't refined my skills enough. If my marriage isn't where I want to be, it's because of me. I haven't been a good enough husband. I haven't contributed enough. I haven't gone out and figured out ways to make the relationship better. That is a completely different mindset from the victim mindset, which is, well, of course I didn't go to the gym this week. I'm busy and I have kids. Or, no, I couldn't go to the gym this week because, it was raining and I couldn't drive there. Or my business is suffering because my inside sales agent isn't making enough calls, or my buyer's agent isn't closing enough deals. Stop the blame. We were all kids at one point. Blaming was cool. It was fun. It got you out of stuff. Now we're adults. Buck up, man up, woman up, and just take responsibility for everything, for the results you get. Own the results. Great leadership principle number 6, take initiative. Okay, so I actually learned this one. Oh, by the way, on that last topic of take ownership, a great resource on that is the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL, super good guy. Great leadership principle number 6, take initiative. I actually learned this principle through marriage counseling and through some books on marriage where, I really learned that if somebody wants to have a good marriage, because I'm really, really interested, and if you're married, you should be really interested. You're going to spend, 10, 20, 30 years of your life living with someone every day. You better be really interested on what makes a good marriage and also what makes a bad one. You need to know both, and you need to be developing yourself every day. If not, that's on you. That's a foolish mistake. So I was, reading books on, being a better husband and having better marriage. And one of the things that I noticed among my friends who had great, and my mentors who had great relationships, is they took initiative, okay? Something goes wrong with the home, the water leaks. They're not sitting there complaining. They're, okay, you know what? Here's what we need to do. We need to call the plumber. We need to do this. We need to call the home warranty. They're taking initiative. Something happens with the business. Oh man, we're not clear on our finances. We're spending too much money. You know what? You're right. That's my responsibility. Let me take initiative to solve that. I'll go ahead and work on a budget. I'll go ahead and meet with a financial advisor. And they take initiative to solve the problems in their life. Everybody loves a leader who steps up and takes initiative. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do everything. Taking initiative can be, hey, I need to work with my team to help delegate some of this stuff so we can get it done. But you have to be the one who moves the ball forward. If everybody's waiting for someone else to make a move, you guys are going to stay frozen for a while, whether it's in life or business. A great book on that is 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. Okay, great leadership habit number 7, track your results. Great leaders know exactly where they are at in relation to their goal. You ask them, how's your health going? Good. My goal was to lose 4 pounds this week. It's 4 pounds this month. It's the 15th of the month, and I've lost 2 pounds. I am on track for my goal. Great leaders are very results focused. Poor leaders are brilliant at telling stories. Well, things are good, but it's up, but it's down. It could be water weight, could be this. They have so many stories that they love to tell you and sell you on. And nobody wants to follow that leader. Everybody wants to follow the leader who tracks the results and is very black and white when it comes to results. Yeah, we didn't achieve our goal. That's okay. Here's what we did wrong. Here's what we need to do differently. Let's move forward. Okay, so it doesn't mean you need to beat yourself up. It just means you need to be very clear on your results. Great leadership habit number 8. Great leaders adapt to change. So what do I mean by that? Well, when COVID hit, you really saw a lot of people that were kind of on both ends of the spectrum in business. Some people really leaned into the new virtual world and were really doing their, home buyer consultations on Zoom, their listing consultations on Zoom, and doing all sorts of things digitally. And they were just really getting in this habit of adapting with the times because they realized that they couldn't change it, so they needed to change their behavior. And so a lot of them really succeeded when they did that. But on the opposite end, I saw a lot of realtors who I still know some realtors that it feels like they just never adapted to the new digital environment. And as a result, their business suffered, and they blamed, they didn't take initiative, they didn't take ownership. It was always someone else's fault, it's the government's fault, it's this and that. And yeah, I mean, you could make a case for the government's making me stay at home, it's my fault. And I get that, but fault and responsibility are two different things. It could be the government's fault, but it's your responsibility to pay your bills and increase your business. So you better be ready to adapt to change. The only thing that's certain in your life is change. The only thing that's certain in business is change. So you need to have this mindset as a leader that things are always changing. I need to get ahead of the curve. Heck, I need to be the one who breaks the mold and creates change with my habits. So always be ready to adapt to change. Great leadership principle or characteristic number 9 is great leaders learn how to say no gracefully. Okay? When you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. Okay? If I said yes to hanging out with my friends tonight, going out and getting some drinks, I'd be saying no to my date night that I already planned with my wife. Now, that's kind of like an extreme example. Like, obviously, I'm probably not going to do that. But here's the thing. How often do we say yes to a project, to a person, to a commitment that really doesn't match our vision, our values, and our strengths? And as a result, we do really poorly at it. We get frustrated with ourselves. Other people get frustrated with us when it would have been better just to say no. But how do you say no? You do it gracefully. Okay? You want to say no gracefully. Hey, Stephen, can we meet for a Zoom call this week? I'd love to pick your brain and advice on some things. Hey, man, I would love to help you out. I'm super excited you reached out to me, and I'm really grateful and honored. I feel honored that you would consider my advice as valuable to you. So thank you for that. This week, I've already said yes to a really heavy schedule because I'm moving homes. I'm packing, I'm helping my wife with stuff, I'm doing stuff for myself. So this week, my schedule, if I were to say yes to you, I would be saying no to doing all the things that I already committed to. Would it be okay if we actually scheduled the Zoom call for next Friday? That is a graceful no. Or, hey, would it be okay if you could follow up with me in a couple of weeks when my schedule lightens up after I move? A lot of times if you tell people to follow up with you, that is the ultimate hack. Only about 10% of people ever follow up. So learn to say no gracefully. And finally, leadership habit number 10, assertive communication. Assertive communication can be a real challenge for people. And I don't really have a lot of good resources for you. I can tell you for myself, I learned it in therapy. I learned it trying to work on myself, trying to work on how to express my needs better, trying to be a better person, better husband, better son, better family member, friend. And I had to go through that journey. And through that journey, I learned how to express my needs in an assertive way without losing my temper. But if you want to be effective as a leader, guess what? You probably don't expect this, but you're going to have to master difficult conversations. If you want to be in any leadership role, congratulations. You're in the difficult conversation role. You're in the rip off the Band-Aid and let's dive right into it role. So what does that mean? That means you have to get good at assertive communication. So here's an example. A contractor's coming over to my home today. They need to be there between 9 and 11 a.m. And that time frame didn't really work out for me. So how would a assertive communicator do that? Hey, listen, I really appreciate you have time between 9 and 11. Right now as I'm looking at my calendar, I have a real scheduling conflict with that. I know that you said this is the only time you can come until Monday. I'm wondering, do you have any other availabilities in your schedule? Is there anything I can do? What if it's later this evening? What if I was to buy lunch for you and your crew? Would that save you time, right? So being assertive is about, kind of like asserting yourself. Saying, look, hey, this is kind of what I need to happen. Is there options here? And sometimes there are no options, and you don't want to be a jerk. But 9 times out of 10, if you are assertive, people will appreciate it. They'll appreciate the clarity, and they will have more respect for you. So these are the 10 leadership habits that you need to build your life and your business to the next level. Hopefully this was a valuable video for you. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment below what is a leadership habit that you have practiced or learned of that has been really helpful for you, and make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.